I'm going to make concentric circle grid that I'm going to put a calendar on. So the first thing I need to do is go to my Illustrator and find my shape tool. Rectangle down to ellipses. And I'm going to do a circle. So it's Command Option Shift or Control Alt Shift if you're working in a PC format. Okay. No fill, so I'm going to hit D. D is default, meaning white fill, black stroke. And I'm going to go and reduce the scale of this vector plane that I made. Okay, shift click and drag it down. I'm going to group it so it makes it easier to handle. Black arrow, move it around until I get something that looks optically centered. Because this is an interesting situation. Let's see if I go and I measure and I go centering on this bar here. And horizontally. Does that look centered to you? It looks a little bottom heavy. And I think I'm going to go here, and I think that helps out a lot. Okay, so again, trust your eyes. Reducing the whole thing. So marquee selection, again, Control Option Shift, and that should be fine for this. Click away so that deselects. Control or Command C, Command F, or Control C, Control F to paste on top, copy, and then paste on top. Click and hold, Control Alt and Shift, or Command Option Shift, and come out so that you can see what you're doing. That's not helpful. Spacebar. Click on this bounding box, Command Option Shift, Control Alt Shift. Okay, so I've got these two lines indicating these two ellipses, and I'm going to click and drag and marquee these. Now be careful not to do it with the white arrow, because if you do this and then you try to move something, you distort everything. Control Z, Command Z, whichever you do, PC or Mac. Okay, so I marquee both of these with the selection tool, not the direct selection tool. And then I'm going to go up to Object and down to Blend, and I'm going to blend options so that I can set this up properly. If I do a smooth blend, I'm going to get hundreds of line copies from this to this. And the thing is that if this was a blue and this was an orange, the transition from blue to orange would be interesting, because then you get that neutralizing value that would happen right in here as a result of split complement, or complements being combined. But we're not doing that. We're going to specified steps. I'm using the blend to give me exact duplicates and incrementally space them out for me. 8 with 2 is going to be 10. I'm looking for 10 so that I can have 12 months. So I set it up. They're still selected. Object, blend, make. Okay. Now, if I hit Command Y, you can see the bare bones of what's going on here. So you can see how the plane was constructed. You can see that the blend only has 2 strokes and that the rest is completely computer generated. I really want those though, so I need to go to Object, Blend, Expand, and then I get all of that information. However, they're still grouped, so I'm going to go to Object, Ungroup, and then that allows me to grab each one individually. So because that one's the last one, that's going to be December. And I click and I hold my Type tool, and I come down to Type on a path, and I'll click here, and lorem ipsum, not the Italian, but the Latin placeholder text that we use across the Adobe platform drops in there, and I'm going to change that to be all capped, and it's going to read December, and then I'm going to do 1 space 2 space 3 space 4. And we're in October, so I'm going to go 31. Control Y. Okay, I don't like this typeface, so I'm going to go with Gotham. Has been my favorite these days. I'm going to go with Gotham. this plane, you know, historical content, 1940s design. Art Nouveau was still around in the 1940s, so this kind of reminds me of an Art Nouveau sensibility. Sans serif font. And what I'm doing with a selection tool is I'm grabbing the end of the sentence. If I go and I do this, you'll see that the red box shows up, and that's overset text. So that shows you that there's something wrong. Grab this and move it. Do not grab these by the boxes. If you grab these boxes, that's a type linking situation that maybe you're familiar with from InDesign, where you have a column of type and it's got type that's still within the box that isn't visible. You would click on this box and then link it to the next column with a box in there, and it would run the type from one to the other. Same thing here. But I want to move this out of the way, so I'm going to grab the line aspect, move it around, and then I'm going to grab December, and I'm going to put this on a 45-degree angle. So I'm using the box, this corner here, and I'm looking at the excess and the excess over here, and I think that that's okay. I might want to move it down a little bit. Okay, with that, maybe, you know, looking at the wing and the axis on the wing, I might want to be splitting that difference. I like that better. Okay, so that type being all bold, I want to go and minimize that because it's a little bit obnoxious. I want the hierarchy to be clearly with December, and I want this to be a subordinate role in this design. So I'm going to go to Gotham. And I'm going to go with Gotham Book. So it's like December, 1, 2, 3. The tone is loud here and it gets more subtle here. And in order to finish this, I'm going to go in here, select this, copy it, select this stroke, paste December in there, make this November, black arrow, move the back of the sentence, move the front of the sentence, and line them up. Okay, I'm going to do left justify on this, and I can go and align it. Well, I'll show you how to do pen tool later. Get my type tool, type on a path tool, click here, paste, there's October. Black arrow, move that into position. Okay, and that's how you're going to get type on a path.